Pascal. Do it now, rockin' with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good afternoon and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hopefully you guys are all doing well out there. I know we are still kind of reeling over the news that we had over yesterday and all that. And I got to be honest, I'm still kind of shook about it as well. Of course, we are all hoping and praying for a different situation. And unfortunately, that's not was in the cards. Okay. Very, very unfortunate. But first off, guys, I had a little bit of a technical issue. So if you guys can just hit the number one, let me know you guys can hear me fully through this microphone. That'd be greatly appreciated. Like I had to kind of hit refresh and do a bunch of different things. It's been a pretty crazy couple hours because I was trying to get a few things taken care of and I was having some issues. So hopefully you guys can hear me. In fact, I'm going to check this too as well, just to hear what this playback says here, just real quick. Of course, we are all hoping and praying. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're Gucci. Thank you guys so much for the ones. 11111s. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Okay. But like I said, we're still kind of reeling over this situation. We're still kind of, I don't know about you guys, but I'm angry about it. And now we got some new information that's still very mind-blowing and mucked up in my personal opinion. I'm going to be real. I am absolutely shook and mad. I'm beyond mad right now, guys. But we're learning some new stuff. We're gonna be taking a look at some stuff. We're gonna look at this, okay? Woo! We gotta look at this, okay? So do me a favor. This is not gonna be a super long show, but I wanted to give you guys this update. I didn't want this to pass. I got some other things I want to talk to you guys about. Something a little bit lighter. So hopefully you guys will appreciate that here. Hopefully I'll be doing that a little bit later on tonight. So be on the lookout for that. If not, it'll be first thing in the morning tomorrow, depending on what happens with the rest of my evening. But nonetheless, do me a favor. Before we jump into everything, hit that like button down below. Please crush it. That would really mean a lot. Hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes as you guys start to file in. Again, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to every single last one of y'all. Okay, welcome to the Pascal Show. If this is your first time checking out this show, and if it is, please do me a favor, crush that follow button on my Facebook page. If you're watching over there, if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to crush that subscribe button. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, that would really mean the world to me. Don't forget, you can support the channel by simply hitting that join button down below, become a member, or join my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Or check out pascalmerch.com. Got some great merch. I'm sure you'll find something that you'll thoroughly enjoy over there as well. All right, guys, we got to get into this conversation. We got things to get into. Support if you can, but supporting it can be as easy as hitting that like button, hitting that join button, hitting that subscribe button. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay, guys, I know a lot of you guys are here for the conversation that a lot of people have already covered, to be really honest. I'm a little late to the party, but like I said, I was wanting to give you this update on this particular case. We already know about Audrii Cunningham, okay? We already know the 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham was missing the day after Valentine's Day. And I wanted to show you her face here, okay? She was missing for 6 days. And there was a guy that was, I guess, a tenant. I don't even know what to call it because he wasn't living inside that house, but he was renting space, I guess, in their backyard, in her father's backyard. And I want to show you his face again. I know we all know about this guy. But in the photo to the left, okay, you can see this dude, Stephen McDougal, Don Stephen McDougal, okay? I like to call him Taters. He's a piece of trash, everybody. He is the in full embodiment of garbage water, okay? He is the last person to allegedly have seen this young girl, Audrii. Now, as of yesterday, we found out breaking news. There was a press conference and whatnot of some devastating news. We are hoping for something different, okay? Completely different. Even though, you know, there's still that part of you going, well, maybe this is not going to end up the way we want it to be. But at the same time, we are hoping and praying. And unfortunately, they found little Audrii in a river. Now, during this press conference, and real quick, I just see this in the corner of my eye, so I have to say it. Yes, he's a demon. He's a straight up demon. All right. Trash. Okay. If you've been watching my show, you already know how I feel about this mother lover. Okay. I just try to be a gentleman and not use too many 4-letter words. So I just keep on calling him trash because that's what he is. All right. But during this press conference yesterday, when they broke the news about her being found, there was something that was very interesting that happened. And I think a lot of other people are starting to catch that as well. All right. When one of the officers came up and one of the lead people spearheading not only the investigation, but the search for this young little girl, Audrii, there was a question that was asked. How did they find her? Because they found her in the river. Let's be completely real here. They found her inside of the river. And a lot of people were going, hey, how did you find out where she was? How did you find her in this situation? And I'm still curious. I was quite curious about that too. Now, 5-0 was not willing to admit anything about how Taters was letting them know on where to find her. They weren't willing to say that he probably said something along the lines of, she's in the river. And maybe he said, I'd highly recommend you lower the river so that you can find her. I know some people are going to sit here and say, hey, wait a second. The police just figured it out and they did their own thing, but maybe they didn't. Because you got to remember, 5-0, when they were asking him, hey, how did you find her? How did you figure out to lower the levels of the water to find her in the river? He did not take any liberties to say, well, we figured it out ourselves, ma'am. Nope. And he didn't even say, well, he said what we needed to look for and we found it. He's not even willing to say that he cooperated on that. Now, I don't know if that's a thing of him trying to get law enforcement to take credit for solving this and finding her, or if they just don't want to give him any love at all whatsoever. Either way, it doesn't matter. We finally have found this young 11-year-old girl. And the details here are absolutely heartbreaking, to say the least. Because I got so many questions. We got some documents, but I'm going to show you guys this title to an article. We're going to read a little bit of this article as well before we go into the documents, because the documents are very, very short. They're very short. I mean, does it need to be any, 15 pages, 22 pages? I doubt it. Unless there's some more that we don't know about yet. And I really have a feeling there's more to this story than what we know right now. But what they have now uncovered is that she was found tied to a rock in the river. And what's interesting is that the rope was linked to the family friend during a traffic stop. Now, of course, he is being charged with her unaliving with M now, with capital M, if I'm correct. I got to use these code words, just a heads up. I'll be using it quite a bit. But the fact that they actually found her in the river, attached to a rock, tells me something. Definitely tells me something. This, to me, feels like premeditated M. Don't worry, we're going to get into that in just a second. Let's take a look at this article here really quick. Okay, like I said, I still can't believe that this is the information that they've come out with, that this young girl was found in this type of fashion. Who does this? What kind of person? I know what kind of person does that. Someone who's less than dog water. Someone who's less than garbage water as well. Trash. I think we can all agree on that, right? So let's get into this. So missing 11-year-old Audrii was found underwater, tied to a large rock with a rope similar to the one found in the suspect's car, authorities said in support of capital M charges filed Wednesday. The Texas girl's remains were found Tuesday by a dive team searching the Trinity River in a rural area north of Houston 5 days. I thought it was 6, but maybe it is 5. 5 days after she was last seen on Thursday with Don McDougal, taters, 42 years old, or 42 years old, I'm sorry, a family friend who lived in their camper, according to charging documents shared by KPRC 2. Now, one thing I found very interesting, because I heard something a little bit different. This is the reason why I wanted to bring this up to the family, to you guys, because, I'm not, a lot of this stuff I'm going, okay, I'm going to ask you guys the question. Last I heard, it was his own RV. It was his own camper that he pulled into the backyard, and he was basically renting space in the backyard. Now, I could be wrong, or the reports that were being said before could be wrong too. But did you guys hear anything about him living in, say, Joshua's owned camper? Because that's new to me. You see what I'm saying? That's brand spanking new to me. Okay? But last I checked, he was living in an RV that was of his own, and he was basically renting space in the backyard of Audrii's daddy's home. Now, if somebody can tell me that, that'd be helpful, okay? And yes, Debbie, that's 42 years old. Yeah, hold up. Let's take a look at that. Look at that. That's horde. That's a horde 42. Like I said, my beautiful brothers and sisters, moisturize. Moisturize. Please. Moisturize. And SPF whatever. He needs like SPF 5,000. All right? Moisturize. Okay, my lovelies? Thank you. Moving back into the story. Horde 42. Horde 42. Yeah, he doesn't look a day younger than 69. But moving on. Moisturize. Once pulled out, cops found, quote unquote, a large rock tied to the child victim's body. This is what documents have been saying, which we are going to be taking a good look at that in just a minute. The rope used was consistent with a rope that was observed in McDougal's vehicle on a traffic stop 2 days prior. This is what the document said. Okay. And of course, we already know that this mother lover, taters, okay, he's already locked up right now on a completely separate charge. Mind you, this is a very dangerous individual. Career criminal, just so you guys know. Video footage and cell phone data also puts McDougal, taters, at 3 locations of interest, including at the river where the youngster's body was finally found, the document said. It was cited as quote-unquote sufficient evidence that McDougal committed the offense of capital M. All right? Cunningham, we already know what happened to her. Audrii, she disappeared when she was supposed to be dropped off at school, okay? Or she was supposed to be dropped off at her bus stop to go to school. She never showed up to that. And of course, now, 5 or 6 days later, I've heard many different accounts, and some people count weird, all right, with days, but 5 to 6 days later, she was found in the river, tied to a rock. And again, 5-0 has not said whether or not the cops were tipped off by taters, or if they figured this thing out themselves. Also, the other thing I thought that was really, really interesting is that they said how they found her, right? How they lowered the level of water that was going through the river, right? Because I guess they have some sort of, I don't know what to call it, but they were able to shut off the flow of the river in some sort of way to lower the volume of water in that particular area. And then they were able to find her, which I found to be extremely interesting and of course heartbreaking at the same time. Okay. But they still did not say, yep, Horde 42, let us know where she was. Or he gave us a tip and did their thing, right? Oh, it's the dam. Thank you, Alice. Or, the right way of dam. Yeah, the dam. Okay. Interesting. But I thought it was still very, very interesting how they figured it out and how they found her, which is still absolutely devastating to say the least. Okay? And may she rest in peace. And may she get the justice that she rightfully deserves. I got questions. I got opinions. We're going to take a look at these documents, though, because we got some documents to take a look at, as you guys can see here. Okay? And I got to be real. This is very short, but I wanted to share it with you guys nonetheless because we deserve to see and know a little bit more about this case. And this also ties up some of the questions as far as what happened to her. Now that we know what happened to her, how she was found, at least. We don't know exactly what happened to her. Autopsy, I'm sure toxicology and autopsy reports will be coming out, and we will find out for sure what happened to her. But I have questions. I have my personal opinions about everything, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. But I want to share with you guys some information that they said in here, okay? So let me get this really quick. The affiant being identified herein as Detective Hemperly, employed with the Polk County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division. The affiant, Hemperly, has over 6 years of experience in the field of law enforcement. Your affiant has specialized training in the field of M offenses, A, S crimes, crimes against littles, and other felony offenses. I think that's important to know. So this officer knows her stuff. Okay? So number one, affiant shall show that on the morning of February 15th, 2024, Polk County Sheriff's Office detectives' investigation has revealed that said defendant, Taters, along with child victim, left the home of the child victim located at such and such drive in the Lake Livingston Village subdivision in Livingston, Polk County, Texas. Now, McDougal, okay, garbage water, and this child and Audrii left in his 2003 Chevrolet Suburban with intent to drop the child off at the school bus stop near the entrance of the subdivision. It was discovered that the child victim, Audrii, was not at the bus stop when a Livingston ISD bus arrived at the location and discovered that the child did not make it to Creekside Elementary that day. Affiant shall show that on February 20th, 2024, the body of the 11-year-old Audrii Danielle Cunningham was located during a search of Trinity River. Law enforcement dive teams located the child's victim's remains within the Trinity River near State Highway 59 South at Polk and San Jacinto, hopefully county line. San Jacinto County Justice of the Peace, McGee, ordered the child's victim's body to be transported to the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office for autopsy and to determine the cause of demise, or COD. The affiant shall show Dogwater was a friend of the Cunningham family and resided on the property in a cab over camper. Interesting. I'm going to have to look up the cab over camper because I don't think I've ever seen that, but maybe I need to see that, okay? Or maybe I have seen it, but I just don't know. McDougal had access to the interior of the child victim's home. Now, I just want to point out how important that is, okay? He had access to the interior of Audrey's home. Now, remember what we heard earlier. People were sitting there, jumping in, sliding into the group chat, putting in their 2 cents, basically saying, how dare you sit there and assume such and such because just because he lived in the backyard doesn't mean that he had access to the house. Well, it's saying right here, according to documents, legal documents, okay, records are showing that he had access to the interior of that house. Exactly where this young girl rested her weary little head every single night. This man had access to it. That's incredibly crucial. Let's continue. The affiant shall show that video footage and cell phone data places Dogwater at 3 locations of interest, evidencing connection with the defendant and the child victim, and Audrey, was located at 2 of those locations and recovered. One of these locations is the Trinity River near State Highway 59 South, where her body was later located. Moving on. Throughout the investigation, investigators were able to determine through cell phone data, technology, that's all I'm going to say, video footage, and other forensic evidence. Garbage Water lied about his whereabouts and activities on the day of her missing. Tell me you did it without telling me you did it. Affiant shall further show that upon recovery of Audrey's remains, law enforcement discovered a large rock tied to the child victim's body. The rope used was consistent with rope that was observed in Garbage Water's vehicle on a traffic stop 2 days prior. We're going to come back to that in a second. Then they show that through investigation, there's sufficient evidence to show that on the date of February 15th, the day she went missing, they say that this piece of trash committed the offense of CM, capital M. Now, what's interesting, we kind of are gonna comb through this a little bit, okay? Because obviously they did their due diligence, they did their work. 5-6 days of hard work to find this young girl, to break everything down, to figure out what actually happened here. Now, I don't think they know everything as of yet, because a lot of it, that piece of work, Horde 42, Dogwater, Taters, knows everything. But I'm wondering if he's starting to squawk or if he's being tight-lipped about everything else. You also got to remember, too, he also has a lawyer. And I guarantee you that through his lawyer, he's basically saying, I'll give you this information if I can get a deal. I'll tell you where she is, or I'll help you, give you some clues if you give me, if we work out a deal. That's kind of what I'm gathering here. That this mother lover, this piece of trash, is trying to finesse 5-0. And probably still trying to finesse 5-0 as we speak. Now that they have the remains, unfortunately, now that they have found Audrii, sure, they could stick a whole bunch of stuff at him, but I'm wondering if he's still trying to work something out. I've heard stories. This is all just through the grapevine of him trying to play crazy, just trying to play crazy, you know? But I have yet to hear anything about him actually just saying, okay, this is where she is. I did this. There's no confession so far from that press conference. We have not heard anything about him saying, yes, I did it. But he's sitting here going like, it's kind of like that OJ book that was supposed to come out. If I did it, this is what I would have done, right? Remember that story about OJ? So maybe he's sitting there doing that same thing. If I did it, I would have done it this way. Maybe. But still, very messed up and disgusting. Nonetheless. All right. But let's take a look a little bit of this, just coming back into this really, really quick. All right. So they, of course, found her in the Trinity River. All right. Now they're doing an autopsy on her. I'm sure that we are going to find out more information, more disturbing stuff. I'm sure. Okay. Now they said that he lived there. Now one thing, the cab over camper, I ain't never heard anything like that before ever. But let me just see what the hell that. Oh, so it looks kind of like. Well, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I mean, I'm sure his isn't as attractive as this one, but I'm going to pull this up because I've never. I mean, I don't camp, and I don't have a camper. Okay, so this is new for me. But so it looks like this. I thought it was going to be something like this. You know what I'm saying? Sadie just said, isn't it the one that covers the truck bed? Yeah. So he had it was a small spot. I mean, I'm assuming. Did he have two vehicles? That's the one thing I'm wondering. Did he have two vehicles? Because wasn't he driving around in another car? In a Suburban? A Chevy Suburban? Navy blue or dark blue? Right? And they showed photos of that car. So is he driving in or this is what they mean by this car or this camper was actually the family's camper. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Again, I could be wrong. I know some of you guys are going to be like, no, you're wrong, Pascal. But I'm just saying, maybe I'm right. But then maybe I'm wrong. Okay? But it sounds like he had access at least to two vehicles. One was his home, and one was the car he was riding around and getting it. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Okay? So two completely separate cars. I think that's important to know. Right? So what they say in documents is, or at least in that news article, they're saying that this camper here was owned or is owned by grandma or by dad, not by him. So he could have literally been renting the space, right? Okay. Some people are saying, hey, no, it's one that you pull. Nurse Ratchet said it's a camping trailer, like an RV, but you pull it. Interesting. So, okay, maybe it's something different. Maybe it is something different. Maybe it is like, let me pull this up. Hold on. Trying to find another one. Let me see. Maybe it's like this. Let me pull this up too. Maybe it's like this. But the way that it says in these documents, it's saying something different. Okay. But like I said, I don't RV, so I don't know. You know what I mean? You experts out there, holla at your boy. Let me know what's good. All right. But I feel like they would have said this, right? Like a fifth wheel camper, perhaps? Everyone's like, fifth wheel, fifth wheel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. I feel like I'm going, hey, anybody interested in buying an RV? What is it? Fifth wheel camper. Let's see what that looks like. Or that. Interesting. But I mean, some of these are nice, though. Some of these are nice. But let me just pull this one up. Hold up. Actually, I'll just pull this up here. Something like this, maybe. I mean, this is just on a website, but something like this. And I mean, this is nice. These are pretty nice. I mean, they're small, but they're nice. But I mean, he's one guy. So, I mean, maybe he doesn't, you know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't need to do, he doesn't need anything that extravagant. But I'm wondering if that is something that is owned by him or owned by the actual father or the mother. See what I'm saying? But that's interesting. Nonetheless, very interesting. I mean, there's various kinds of, as they say in here, there are various kinds of cab over camper. Okay. So he resided on the family property in a cab over camper. He had access to the interior of the child victim's home. And I think that's incredibly important to know. Forget the interior or, forget what kind of cab over camper, if it was an RV or if it was like a freaking jet. It doesn't matter. He was living in the backyard of this place. Okay. He was in the backyard of this place doing and then of course plotting. In my personal opinion, plotting. All right. And one thing that's very disturbing to me is that he had access to the interior of the child's home. And that's incredibly crucial. Now, I remember us talking about that piece with our boy Justin on TikTok when he came onto the show, and we were going into great detail about everything with this particular case. And we talked about, hey, she lives in this particular place, in this area. At least it looked like in the photo that she lives in this house. All right. She lives in a particular area in this house where it looks like there's no access to a door to shut things off, to have privacy, to have safety from this monster. Right. Now, anything's possible. But at the same time, no matter what, this man had access to the interior of this house. Now, we've already seen photos and videos, etc., of this little girl tattooing him allegedly and all that. And I'm gonna say this, okay? We've already talked about this at great lengths. I'm sorry, but no matter what, you doggone it, you ain't. If you are my child, you are not doing that, okay? I don't care if that person is saintly, reads the Bible and drinks Perrier every day. I don't care. You're not doing that. Just in my personal opinion. Okay. But I know a lot of people were very defensive over that stuff. But I tell you this, if you knew that person is a monster, would you let your child put their hands on their body in that way? Tell you what, hail to the no. Hail to the no. Hell no. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, if that was ever my situation, that man's face would be on a t-shirt. If he gets what I'm saying, all right, it'd be the end of him. Real talk. It would definitely be the end of him. Okay. The end. Okay. Just so you know. All right. But moving back on into this. All right. Moving back into this. They said video footage and cell phone data places him in 3 different locations. Now, what's interesting, of course, when we read this other article the other day or yesterday about how he was hopping from different places, I mean, I'm wondering what were the other 2 locations. One of them was him going to an actual like a garage, okay, to go and get something like a car part for his car and all that. And then, of course, that was on the way allegedly to like on the route. What was he doing during that time, right? What actually happened here and why did it go the way it went down, right? Now, the other thing too, okay, moving into this, I mean, investigators were able to determine through cell phone data, video footage. So like I said, they were able to look at, I don't know, security cam footage, intersection footage and whatnot of him driving. They were, I mean, if they knew what kind of car he had, for a fact they were going from one place to the next and finding every single, just piecing those pieces together. Like Brian Koberger's car. Remember Brian Koberger's car? He was driving around. They were following every little nook and cranny, every place that he stopped, any possible place that he went to that was caught on video, they had, and they were starting to piece those pieces together. So they did the same thing here, not only just from cell phone data, but video footage. Like I said, technology is incredible. But one thing I think is very, very interesting and that we need to discuss here as well is that they said the rope that was found on her precious body, for real, okay? This innocent little girl found in such a way. How barbaric, okay? You are literally, you are nothing to me. You are trash. And you got VIP seats in hell, in my personal opinion, okay? What's less than hell? What's lower than hell? That's what I'd like to know, because he should be in that same spot with them all, okay? With all the other monsters. But what I found very interesting is that they said that the rope that was found on her was the same rope that was found in his vehicle on a traffic stop 2 days prior. Now, I want to know what made them go through his car 2 days prior. Why was he pulled over 2 days ago, 2 days before this went down? A traffic stop, he must have been speeding, or he rolled through a stop sign. And they went through his stuff. Now, the two different things. I got 2 questions here, okay? 2 different things. Think about this for a second. He had a traffic stop. He rolled through a stop sign. He blazed through a traffic light. Whatever, speeding, whatever it may be, okay? Driving while shirtless, it doesn't matter. But he still got pulled over, right? He still got pulled over. Why didn't they do a check on his reports? Why don't they pull and get his ID and go back in the car and clickety-clack on their little cop computers, laptops, and realize that this man had a warrant out for his arrest during that time for aggravated A? Think about it for a second, guys. I'm serious. Think about it for a second. I'm being real. Oh, this is fun. I'm being real. Why didn't that happen? Just a question for you guys. He's a convicted felon. He has been on multiple times in jail and in prison for doing very, very bad things. He has a traffic stop 2 days before this case, before this tragedy happens. And they didn't go clickety-clack and realized that there was a warrant out for his arrest and arrest his ass right then and there while he was right there in front of him? Think about it for a second. Hold on. Just do it. Go ahead. Take him. Let him marinate. Go ahead. You done? I'm just curious about that. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Maybe there wasn't anything out there. Maybe there really wasn't any information out there. Maybe he was just doing just fine. I don't know. But that doesn't make any sense that there was not, because you got to remember, he was still arrested and detained for aggravated A with a deadly weapon while she went missing. So there wasn't a warrant out for his arrest. That just suddenly sprang out of nowhere for something that he did 6 months ago. Think about that for a second. That doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense to you guys? And he attacked that guy viciously. Now, if he didn't, I mean, to me, I'm going, that, I don't know. That's so weird for someone to have such a lengthy record. No warrant at all. So where did this materialize out of nowhere? How did that materialize out of nowhere? Someone please explain that to me. I'd really like to know that piece of information, because I am personally a bit confused on that, because when she went missing, that's when they suddenly scoop them up, and that's it. Now, Janine, that's the other thing though too. And I know some people are like, oh, how dare you say that? You got it wrong. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'm just asking the crucial questions because it doesn't make sense. Again, the math ain't mathin'. He gets pulled over 2 days prior. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know about y'all, but I've been pulled over before, and they try to find anything to get yourself locked up, get your ass locked up. Okay? Maybe it's driving while black. I don't know. But you're telling me that this dude was pulled over and they didn't see, there was nothing on him? Nothing? And then all of a sudden she disappeared, and now they got a warrant for his arrest on that thing that happened 6 months ago? Suddenly that warrant just materializes out of nowhere? That warrant should have existed 6 months ago. You feel me? You feel me? Hopefully you feel me. So that doesn't make any sense. Unless I know some people are like, maybe he gave a false ID. Maybe, but that doesn't make, that's so weird. I'm sorry. Timeline is a bit odd to me. Okay. And I could totally be wrong, and that's fine. Let me be wrong. But still, I'm serious. No. It just seems a bit odd. But nonetheless, let me just say this again. They saw a rope that was consistent to the rope that was on her when they found her. So they must have done some sort of investigation in his car. They probably did a full search of his car because of his priors, right? Because he's a convicted felon. Maybe they did do a search of his car with no warrant. Maybe there was no warrant then at all, and everything just happened the way it happened, right? But still, it's a bit odd. Again, the math ain't mathin'. And I'm just going to ask that. Y'all can be mad at me all you want. I don't care. It's a question, because the math ain't mathin'. This is a situation, and this is a man that should have been locked up 6 months ago. And why didn't that happen? Now, I'm not sitting here saying, let me get everybody, let's just point the finger at 5-0. I'm not doing that at all. I'm not even trying to do that at all. Okay. That is not my goal here. My goal is to ask the question of, this happened 6 months ago. This assault with a deadly weapon 6 months ago. And now he's getting charged with it. Now he's being brought in, and now he's in prison for that. Like Glow just said on Facebook, the math just ain't mathin' to me. And I feel like if the system was a little bit different, maybe we wouldn't be talking about Audrii in this way right now. But like I said, I know all the breadcrumbs and all that stuff is not one particular person's fault. It is not one system's fault. It's everything combined that caused this tragedy to transpire. But it still just doesn't make sense to me if 2 days prior he was pulled over And if he gave his actual ID and they went and clickety-clacked, I'm wondering where that warrant and why that warrant didn't exist at that time. Because I'm telling you right now, they would have locked his ass up with the quickness 2 days before this whole thing went down. That's the only question. That's the only thing I'm going to say. That's the only thing I'm going to say. But at the same time, shoot, I've been pulled over just like all y'all. And trust me, shoot, they will take you in over the tiniest stuff. So what happened here? What happened here? Was he riding dirty? Was he pristine? Everything, all traffic violation tickets, whatever they may be, were they all paid off? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Seems a bit odd. But they had to have gone into his car at some point during that traffic stop to find out that there was rope in that car. Man, I've been pulled over and they're like, we're going to go and do a search of your car. And I'm like, why? You ain't got no warrants. Why are you looking through my car? Still, they go, we're going through your car, and they still do it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? They go through your stuff. They go through it. So I'm going, okay. All right, then. So they clearly did something here where they saw the rope. And whatever officer that performed that, allegedly, I mean, this is just speculation, clearly saw the rope and said, yeah, that's the same rope that was in his car when I pulled him over during that traffic stop 2 days ago. Weird. That's all I'm going to say. Weird. Now, they're saying after investigation and all that, they're saying absolutely they have sufficient evidence to say, boom, this dude did the thing. He did this damn thing. And that's why he's getting charged with capital M. And hey, I applaud the police for doing their damn job. Real talk. Shoot, I will give them all the love in the house. Real talk. That monster's off the streets. But it could have been prevented. Could have been prevented, maybe. But that all depends on if there was a warrant that existed 2 days before this little girl went missing. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you guys about, and because that's something that popped in my head when I was reading this by myself. I'm like, wait a second, wouldn't he be pulled over and then arrested because of this for what he's being locked up for right now? Now, again, I could be absolutely wrong. Okay, I don't know all the pieces of the puzzle, but I'm looking at the pieces and I'm going, okay, this ain't fitting, and why is it not fitting? So hopefully they have some clarification on that here very, very soon. Okay, I'm just telling you what I feel on that piece. It seems a bit odd, and there's room for disagreement. I understand that, but there is something else that I need to talk to you guys about. And it has to do with the timeline, not just because of the warrant and if there was a warrant and all that stuff. Let's push that off to the side. But is there premeditated M here? I'm telling you right now, I feel like it was. This is premeditated. And if 5-0 sees that and looks at all the evidence, it will tell you that this man was plotting. This man was most definitely plotting. Let's keep it real. What happened in those DMs? He's talking to Cassie, Audrey's mom. He's having a full-on conversation, basically saying, hey, she trusts me, she loves me, kind of thing. We're tight. She just wants to see you. To me, it seems like she was trying to build this up to make it seem like she's the one that did this unthinkable thing, that he was trying to pin this all on her. This, in my personal opinion, is most definitely premeditated. Now, I know a lot of y'all might not agree with me on that, and that's fine. That's totally okay. But those DMs, those messages where they corresponded with each other tells me something different. That tells me he was planning this thing out. He knew exactly what he was going to do. He did that, and he was hoping that those text messages or those DMs on Facebook would be his ticket out. That would make him innocent. I didn't have anything to do with it. I dropped her over here with mama, and then I don't know what she did. But of course, that did not work out. And I'm really thankful that Cassie, Audrey's mom, did put out that information and exposed that ass, because honestly, that exonerated her as well. That exonerates her. Yes, it wasn't the best choice. Legally, she's not supposed to be doing that. Okay. Very not great, not the greatest choice, but at the same time, that exonerates her because it never happened. They never met. They never showed up. He never showed up with her. So it does make you wonder, was there something that happened before? Was there something that happened before and then he did these text messages, these DMs? Or did everything happen? Did everything transpire that very morning? That's one thing I'm still trying to find out and trying to find the truth of too. Now, I know a lot of people have said, no. He, everything happened in the morning. We don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. And one person, two people that would be helpful to clarify a few things is dad and grandma. The two people that actually live inside that house. Those two people could actually give us more insight on everything. I've heard stories that dad goes out on weeks on end, not home for weeks on end because of work and all that. I heard that he wasn't home. That's just what I've heard, right? But at the same time, I have yet to hear anything about that to confirm any of those things, in my personal opinion. So this is interesting, okay? Yeah, I mean, Anna Maria just said, I blame the parents to F that. I mean, listen, I know that family members have jumped into the group chat and putting in their 2 cents, but I'm telling you right now, when you have somebody who, I'm sorry, it's hard not to judge a book by its cover at face value. And instantly, I'm doing everything I can to check out and see what kind of person I'm dealing with. Oh God, if you're going to be living in my backyard and you live and act a certain way, I am definitely looking you up to make sure I'm just making sure. Okay. Mocha Meadow. The story is on Fox 26 Houston on the victim. He's the one who was attacked and ID'd the truck from the. Okay, I'm going to look that up. We're going to take a look at that here in a second, because I really want to know more story, more background about this attack, about this incident, because it's very, very odd to me. Very, very odd. And again, I'm still wondering, I'm trying to understand what's up with the traffic stop. I know some of y'all like, nah, you got it wrong. Turning into Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. It's all good. I understand, but some just feels weird about that. It just seems weird, but we're going to talk about that. And maybe the timeline is exactly what it is. And that's fine. It just seems a bit weird, especially with somebody with such a history, a career criminal here, guys. Career criminal. I got some super chats. Let me get these two really quick. Cakes Boo, thank you so much for the 15 Australian. I appreciate it. We wrap our arms around your beautiful soul now in heaven, sweet Audrey. You'll be safe there. Yes. Again, I agree. Thank you so much. And yes, may she rest forever in peace, because that's where she deserves that. Most definitely. I just want her to get the proper justice. And if there's other people that are involved in this situation, I'm hoping that those people are held accountable for this as well. Gigi, thank you so much. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Welcome to the family. And just like Gigi, all right, please consider hitting that join button down below and becoming a member. Please and thank you. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay. And of course, guys, before I go into this next super chat, please do not forget, hit that like button down below. I'd love to see it let's get to 800 likes. Okay, I see a gang of y'all in here, and I really do appreciate the support. Hit that like button down below. Become a member. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. And if you want to, please become a member. Consider becoming a member. And we got a Travel with Caribbean. Thank you so much for the 50, the highest in the room. Woo! Thank you so much. Wow. You know that, what's his name? Luke, Owen something. I forgot his name. Anyway, the guy with the nose, the blonde hair, he's been in a bunch of comedies back in the day. What's his name? Owen Wilson? I think it's Luke Wilson, whichever one. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate it. Reminds me of the story of Stephanie Mon. We went to the same school. She went missing, found in the river in Westville, New Jersey. She was found in a bag tied to a brick at the bottom of the river. Oh, my Lord. I made a video about it. Thanks for covering. Thanks, Pascal, for covering. Man. I don't know about this Stephanie Mon story, but I do appreciate you bringing it up. I'm going to have to take a look at that and see it for myself. We have a lot of stories like this that are very common, right? That are just very devastating. You know, we just talked about the Charlotte Senna story. Luckily for her, all right, and luckily for the family, she was found alive in an RV in the backyard of this monster's mama's home, right? So a lot of these are very, very common, right? A lot of these are very, very common. But real quick, Alyssa, Pascal, did you see about Brian Laundrie's parents in mediation to avoid trial? No, I've heard about it. We did look at some of their deposition, some of their interviews and questions and all that. Man, you are asking a lot in many different platforms. Yes, I know about it. I have not covered. I think that there's more to the story, especially with the Laundrie's family, but we are going to look at that at another time. This is we are on a different topic right now. Okay. But I'm hoping we figure out, I hope we find out more information. I need to look at that when I get a second, of course. Gosh, I got to put this up because I do agree. I'm not going to say this sentence, but you guys can read it. I have a feeling about that too. I think that there's been a long history of something going on. That's just my speculation. We don't know anything as of yet. Hopefully we will find out something very, very soon. But like I said, I think this is somebody who has been, M. Lee, thank you. I appreciate you putting in your 2 cents. It's the harsh reality of it all, but I do think that there's more to it than just him picking her up and taking her and doing what he did. You see what I'm saying? I think that this man was plotting for a while. I really do think that. And what's sad is that unbeknownst to the family, let's just say that, they had the big bad wolf living in their backyard. Living in his backyard. And, we've seen the photos and all that of them getting all chummy and best of friends, besties, all that stuff, right? Besties for life. We got matching bandanas and stuff, all this ridiculous-ish, right? And then all the while, this dude could have been plotting or doing even worse things before her demise. It's ridiculous, guys. And scary. But I'm telling you right now, this guy, to me at least, was, I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. The entire time, printed all over his face. Don't trust me. I'm a bad guy. I don't care how sweet and kind he was. If he baked muffins and all that stuff, I guarantee you he learned baking in prison. Okay. I would have been like, how do you know how to bake? How do you know how to crochet so well? with all them prison tats on your body. Shoot, I'm doing all kinds of background checks on this mother lover. I'm sorry. This is not somebody to be trusted, in my personal opinion. Man. Danielle, and for the rest of their life, now they will carry guilt. I'm sure this could have been definitely been prevented, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I think so too, Danielle. I mean, like, I'm not going to sit there and put the blame is on this dude. You see what I'm saying? We focus all our anger and our energy of justice towards this mother lover and whoever else is involved in it. Because for a fact, somebody else, if they are involved, it will surface at some point. I'm hoping sooner rather than later, because if there are people that partnered up and are involved in this, they need to be locked up too. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, yes, there were 2 people or 4 people involved. No. But they need to be held accountable. Whoever did this, whoever is involved, needs to be held accountable. For sure. Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? Let me check this. I said I was going to look up this Fox 26 thing. Fox 26. What's his name? I keep calling him Garbage, Water, and Taters. I keep forgetting his name now. Yes. Let's see. Oh. Ho. Oh, ho. Victim speaks out after being attacked. Oh, yeah. Let me get this then. Yeah, babies. Thank you guys for the heads up on Fox 26. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's pull this up. That's very interesting. It's a video, so I'm just pulling it up so we can watch it as a fam. But that is very, very interesting. Wow. Okay, let me just pull this up so we can take a look at this. Now, again, you guys remember that there is somebody that was attacked.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Anthony.
There's somebody that was attacked by this man, by McDougal, by Garbage Water. All right. And so, sorry, I'm like reading stuff. Okay. So what we understand, what we know right now, okay, this guy has been arrested on a prior charge, something completely different. And again, I'm sitting here going, why was it taking so long? He had 2 days before this little girl went missing. There was a traffic stop. If there was a warrant out for his arrest, he should have been arrested right then and there on the spot. That didn't happen. But he still got arrested after she went missing. Now, apparently, thanks to you guys, shout out to the fam, okay? It's because of you guys, right? Thank you for bringing this up for me. Now they're saying that there is one of the victim that actually was attacked by this man. Apparently, he was poked, for lack of a better term. Apparently, now he's speaking out and talking about being attacked by this guy. I haven't seen this video, so we're gonna take a look at this. But I'm very interested about this. Okay, so I got to jump in and out of this because of fair use and all that crap. Unfortunately, guys. All right, but hit the number one. I'm sorry. Let me know you guys can hear this. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Anthony Antoine. The search for 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham is nearing its 5th day. And tonight, we're learning more about the last person who police say was seen with her. This man beside me here. Fox 26's Abigail Dye has been digging into the past of Don Stephen McDougal. She's joining us now live from Livingston with an exclusive interview from a man McDougal attacked with a knife.
Okay. See, he attacked the dude. I got to go in and out of this. I'm sorry, guys, because this is just how we roll. unfortunately. And you're going to see the picture and not see the picture because of, fair use and all that crap. I just don't trust these local news stations anymore. They're always trying to take things down. Okay. But yes, he is going to talk. He was attacked by a knife, guys. This is insane. So let's take a listen to what she has to say, what the reporter has to say.
Miguel.
Anthony, this is a conviction back from 2010 of McDougal's, and this is one of many on his rap sheet. This story shows just how dangerous and violent he can really be. Don Stephen McDougal, the last person little Audrii Cunningham was with before she vanished, according to officials. They say the family friend lived on the Cunningham's property. He's been under our microscope, and we found a lengthy, violent criminal history.
Let me show you guys something here really quick, okay? I want to show you guys this. Sorry, I'm covering it because of fair use and all that crap, okay? So understand that. Shoot, if we were on a network channel, this would be a different conversation, I think, right? So networks, holla at your boy. I'm working hard out here. But anyway, look at these photos. Those are all mugshots, y'all. All of them are mugshots. Yeah, that second pic, Gem's like that. Where did she go? There it is. That second pick. Yeah, he was not having a good day that day. And I'm also wondering if this is all in chronological order. Because it was like he was big, and then he went skinny, and then he went to big again. Then he had hair. He was bald, then he had hair, and then he went bald again. You see what I'm saying? Ain't that crazy? Some people are wondering. They do a screenshot here in a second. I'll show it to you guys.
Our microscope, and we found a lengthy, violent criminal history.
Take a look at that. Now, the thing is Cleveland PD, Texas Highway Patrol, Houston County, Brazoria County, Harris County, blah, 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 Liberty. But see, all of this, these are all things. But the thing is we looked at other ones. This is just a snippet. This ain't even the full thing, guys. Because he has things dating all the way back to 1998. 1998. That's a hard. Yeah, exactly, Grace. This is a horde 42. So, blammo, guys. I mean, and that's, like I said, he had other offenses. Like, this is the furthest back that they go on this one is 2001. But from what we saw, I don't have the screenshots anymore, but he had dates going all the way, or, priors going all the way back as far as 1998. Career criminal, y'all. Career criminal. Let's continue.
Just the sheer look of him. I know I hate to judge a book by its cover, but that's one book somebody should have judged.
Okay. See, I'm not the only. See? Come on now. I am not the only one. Okay? Sam Smith. All right? I know I'm not the only one. See, I'm not crazy. And I know some other people be like, "Oh, come on. You don't understand." No. No, you judge that book. Oh, you most definitely judge that book. Take a look at this mother lover. Come on. Look at this dude. Come on. If there was any shame in that, in those tats, he'd cover that stuff up so fast. He'd put a shirt on. At least. He'd go and cover up those tats. No, he was wearing that. He was showing that off with pride. That's pride right there, y'all. That's pride. That's disturbing. Let's continue. This is the victim talking. Okay. But he's garbage water. Yeah, you can say that. Okay. And somebody out there thought this is sexy. I know I made that joke before, but I don't care. Somebody thinks that's sexy. Damn.
That's cover, but that's one book somebody should have judged.
Alec Bryan III says he worked with McDougal back in 2010. One night after some drinks at his house, things got ugly.
He got drunk one night. We threw him out of the house, and he come back with a knife and slashed tires and tried to stab me with a knife, and I had to run him off with a gun. And the cops finally come out with dogs and got him.
What were those?
Interesting. So he didn't get hit. So that clarifies a thing. So he went and he attacked him with this sharp object, but did not succeed. He ran him off with a shotgun. I'm going to run that back one more time because I think that's crucial. Still, that doesn't matter. This is somebody who's very dangerous that was willing to come back in with his drunk ass and try to barge in through a house and try to put some suffering on some people. And I know this photo itself, like, damn, that mother lover needs Jesus. Okay. Moving on.
Things got ugly.
He got drunk one night. We threw him out of the house, and he come back with a knife and slashed tires and tried to stab me with a knife, and I had to run him off with a gun. And the cops finally come out with dogs and got him.
What were those moments like for you, almost getting stabbed?
Terrifying. It really was. I mean, he's, like I said, he seemed like a nice guy, but then he's got this whole other side to him.
Okay, so somebody just said, Melissa just said, this is a different guy. Aha. So this may be, okay, so this is allegedly a different person. Now, I do have something I'm going to share with you guys here in a second, but this is interesting. So if this isn't the same guy that attacked him, or that he actually successfully poked, with a sharp object, then that's interesting. But nonetheless, he's saying the same story. Like, this mother lover tried to take my life. He came at me because he was too drunk or whatever, felt some type of way. But that's interesting. Yeah, because I'm seeing, let's see, Mocha is also saying that too. There's another one with a victim from 6 months ago got to find. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up here in a second, okay? But let's hear this other victim speak out, which is interesting. Thank you so much for that clarity or that clarification. I appreciate that.
That no one seemed to know about until now.
McDougal was convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for that attack. And 2 years earlier, he had been convicted of enticement of a child, according to records.
Hold on. Now you guys got me confused, because here's the thing. This very one. Oh, okay. So this is a completely different. Wow, this was 13 years ago. So, okay. Let's not forget. I forgot. He's a career criminal. Ah, yeah. So he's done this before. Yeah. He's done this before, guys. Because apparently this happened in February 6th of 2010. 14 years ago, to be exact. So what happened to this gentleman here happened 14 years ago. In February of 2010. He pled guilty. Okay. Wow. I'm telling you, you guys they had a good time. They're having drinks, bashing natty lights and bush lights, doing shots of Cuervo. And all of a sudden, dude gets in his feelings, leaves, comes back with a knife and tries to, slash. That's insane. Well, they roll that back, so we get that fully.
That no one seemed to know about until now.
McDougal was convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for that attack. And 2 years earlier, he had been convicted of enticement of a child, according to records.
Hamburger.
Then in 2019, he was convicted of another aggravated assault. Court records saying he hit someone in the back of the head with a pipe. Officials arrested McDougal.
Hold on. Career criminal. See, I'm acting all surprised, but I shouldn't be acting all surprised because this mother lover is a career criminal. Let's not forget that. Hamburger, indeed. Hamburger.
Of another aggravated assault. Court records saying he hit someone in the back of the head with a pipe. Officials arrested McDougal for another case on Friday, shortly after questioning him, as you see in this video.
Wow. Wow. Danielle, yeah, red flags are like crazy red flag city. Okay? Red flag city. All right? These guys should have been nowhere near a child, or this guy should have been nowhere near a child. Yeah, ever. I agree. This is crazy. Okay, let me see this. Okay, is the 10-year-old incident not the current A? I heard the current one identified his car when, oh, okay. Well, it's still good. Okay, I appreciate that clarification because I was a little confused here. I'm like, wait a second. No, this isn't the victim of the thing that happened in August, as we're starting to learn now. But still, no matter what, it's still good to hear how dangerous this mother lover really is. Because let's be real, he did this, and then years later he was convicted of another one because he hit a dude with a lead pipe in the back of the head. Who does that? Who does that? That's somebody who's not right in the head, that wakes up and chooses violence. Remember that phrase? He woke up today and chose violence on all those occasions, and it seems like he does that every day. That's dangerous. Yeah, taters. F taters. Okay?
I'm hopeful that he will begin helping in this case.
As the search for little Audrii continues.
One of the most horrible, worst things somebody can do is lose a child. Because I lost my daughter when she was 7 to cancer. So
that's terrible.
I know how it is. And this right here is even worse because there's no closure.
If you could say anything to McDougal now, what would you say to him?
Tell him what happened. Where is she?
No doubt. Tell him what happened. Where is she? But of course, we already know where she is now. She has been found, but that's what he needs to do. He needs to be telling people what actually happened. That's what he should be doing. Okay, hold on. I'm checking a few things. I appreciate you guys, rocking with me as a part of this, because this part of the show was not planned, just so you guys know. But I am looking at this really, really quick. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Appreciate that's dope. So let me see here real quick. Let me see if I can find, because I'm let me see. No, I'm not seeing anything from a person speaking out on the situation, but at the same time, let me see here, because one second, guys. I'm trying something here, so give me 2 seconds here. Where the heck is it? 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. All right. Now, one thing I do want to share with y'all. This is from, shout out to Plunder, okay? Shout out to Plunder. But she wrote an article, okay? What? Chef. He's in the ER. What? 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 Okay, I'm going to look that up here in a second, okay? But I do want to share with you guys this, okay? This affidavit for his arrest, of course, for whatever happened on August 19th, the incident against David Stanley. Now, I think this is the one that everyone's talking about, right? So let's take a look at this. And shout out to Plunder, okay? This is her article. I'm assuming this is David Stanley, okay? Is Tater really, is he really in the ER? Is he really in the ER, y'all? Someone send me that article. If that's real, send me that article. Send me that link. I want to see it for myself. If he is, poop. He's trash. Anyway. So apparently this is what happened to this guy. Okay? An incident against this guy, David Stanley. Okay? I think this is all what you guys are talking about. All right? Taters. Okay, so he's apparently, this is a quote. This guy attacked me. I got to use these code words. He attacked me 3 times in the back in August, and the sheriff's department has still not charged him for it. Wow. Look at that. So that explains everything what I was saying earlier when I was like, why didn't they pull him over? Why didn't they lock him up before? They didn't charge him. So this guy actually got attacked 3 times in August, and the sheriff department did not charge him for that thing at all. That's insane, y'all. So this is what he wrote on Facebook about this dude, okay, before she was found. Whatever happens to that little girl is on their hands. I gave them the description of his vehicle back in August after he attacked me, and they just now charging him for it. Wow. See, that now explains everything, because I was sitting there going, wait a second, that makes no bloody sense. That makes absolutely no bloody sense, okay? Absolutely no sense. Doesn't make any sense. They pull him over and they're like, hey, just watch those traffic signs, okay? You have a good day now, sir. That's it. Career criminal. So, we already know. Okay, so on February 20th, 2024, the same day, the 11-year-old Audrii was recovered from Trinity River, okay, about 10 miles from her home near Lake Livingston in a rural area north of Houston. I received information on McDougal's arrest that landed him in jail on Friday. The Records Division of Polk County Sheriff's Office in Texas sent me the following information regarding Dogwater, who is currently or recently charged with capital M in the demise of little Audrii. Ma'am read the email from February 20. Okay. This is all we can release at this time regarding Don McDougal. I had previously sent them a FOIA, okay, request, Freedom of Information Act request, that read, this is a formal public records request for the body cam and dash cam videos of the arrest of the following individual, Dogwater, age 42, white male, is in custody at the Polk County Jail with a booking date of February 16th at around 11:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay? Now, all that information, the address and whatnot. My FOIA continued. Prior to his M charge being added, he is charged with 1 count of aggravated A with a deadly weapon. Offense date is listed as February 16th, 2024, and the arresting agency is listed as Polk County Sheriff's Office, Livingston, Texas. I was sent information about case number such and such for the felony 2 aggravated A with a deadly weapon for Dogwater's previous attacking of a victim. I have yet been sent any body-worn camera footage nor dash cam video of his most recent arrest. And I think that's interesting too. And hopefully they will put that stuff out here very, very soon, right? And watch it be on like long crime here in like 2 days, right? It reads in part, or it will probably be on Plunder's as well. And of course, please go check out Plunder. I can't stress it enough. Okay, she is a beast. Okay, I give credit where credit is due. She is a beast. So, and this is her writing this article. just so you guys know. Very talented person. Okay. It reads in part that dog water on or about August 19th, 2023, intentionally, so this was 6 months ago, intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly caused bodily harm to David Stanley by attacking with a sharp object Stanley in the back area, and the defendant used or exhibited a deadly weapon, namely a knife, during commission of this A. Deputies responded to an A call on Farm to Market 3277. Didn't we just talk about 3277? Yes, we did. That's interesting. FM 3277 is an area that they were looking at, remember? So this was the home of the victim in Livingston. The victim identified as a past known associate as Rachel, who came to his home with an unknown white male requesting assistance with their vehicle that broke down a short distance from his home. The victim drove in his personal vehicle, Rachel and the male, to their vehicle, at which time Rachel and the male felt the battery was dead and needed to be jumped. As the victim was attempting to place jumper cables on the broke down vehicle, the male placed the keys in the ignition, at which time the victim stated the headlights became bright and a dinging sound from the key was sounded. So the battery was not dead. He attempted to roll up his cables when the man walked up behind him and attacked him in the back with what he believed to be a knife. The victim was able to run back to his home to get away from the actor, or I guess the attacker, and Rachel, to contact 911 for assistance and medical attention. David, the victim, was aware of the identity of Rachel, but not the male, until later observed in a jail photo after the arrest of McDougal. McDougal and Rachel are known associates and are known to run together. So it's like Bonnie and Clyde. What's that movie with Woody Harrelson? You know what I'm talking about. Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis. What's that movie? Oliver Stone made the movie. It's like one big acid trip, but they're like crazy mother lovers out here. I forgot the name of the movie. Natural Born Killers, I think, or something like that. Yeah, Natural Born Killers. Thank you. So they're just teaming up, right? McDougal was incarcerated in Polk County Jail, and affiant Detective Lieutenant Finnegan attempted to interview McDougal about the actual incident, which he refused to talk about. So then on February 16th, 2024, victim Stanley learned of Dogwater being suspected to be involved in this unrelated criminal matter, seeing his photo as a suspect, and again called Detective Finnegan, identifying Dogwater again as the person who actually attacked him on the night of August 19th, 2023, while being with this woman named Rachel. Detective Finnegan shows through investigation that there is sufficient evidence to show that on the date of August 19th, 2023, Dogwater was present at the time of the A on David Stanley and did in fact cause injury to David by attacking him with a weapon believed to be a sharp knife instrument. Interesting, right? So Dogwater and this girl shows up to this guy's house saying, hey, man, I need some help. Our car broke down. And the thing is, it seems as if he said he knew the girl's name. He knows the girl's name. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. Okay. Victim identified as past known associate. So he knew this woman, Rachel, but he did not know the dude. Okay? Did not know the guy. But they were like, car broke down. We could really use a jump. Sure, brothers. Sure, guys. Gotcha. Get in my car. They drive down to the car. He's setting everything up, getting everything ready. Okay? And then as he's about to go and do his thing, guy turns on the car. Clearly, headlights are on. The ding to the car is making the ding, ding, ding. So clearly the battery ain't dead. And then this guy proceeds to attack him in the back. Grabs his stuff. This guy apparently runs home. Yeah. The victim was able to run back to his home to get away from this attacker and Rachel. Called 911 for help and medical attention. So then when they went to go, he identified Rachel, the girl, but he didn't really know the male until he saw a jail photo of McDougal. But I'm wondering, when was this jail photo that he saw? Was that he realized, oh, no, that's the guy. I know him from anywhere now. That's the dude. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name, but that's the guy who attacked me. So I'm wondering when he saw that photo, because in the very beginning of this, it says here, the guy attacked me in the back in August. Sheriff's Department did not charge him for it. Interesting, right? So let's continue here. Maybe there's more. All right. Okay, we already know this guy's trash. Okay. No, there's really not much left. Okay. But yeah, so there's not much left. Okay. But that's very, very odd that this guy who was attacked, Stanley, okay, David Stanley, when he was actually attacked, all right, he said, these guys did this. This person did this to me, and they still did nothing. 5-0 didn't press charges or even look for the guy and stick some charges against this guy. To attack somebody like this is very, very dangerous. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. That is absolutely insane to me, guys. Clearly, this guy has, I'm just assuming. This is not somebody, I'm not talking about Stanley. I'm talking about dog water. Clearly, this piece of trash, okay, maybe he's always strapped for cash, always looking for the next fix, maybe. I don't know. But what would make somebody go out of their way to attack this guy, this David Stanley guy, out of nowhere? One thing I will say, one thing I'm assuming, okay, or one thing I'm wondering, not assuming, I'm wondering, the Rachel character that he's talking about, this past known associate, was this some girl that he was in a relationship with? Could have it been a situation where he, did his thing and then he moved on and then she felt scorned and then she convinced this new dude, okay, dog water, to do this, to attack him? Maybe. Or it could have just been a random hit. But at the same time, we have not heard anything about this person saying, hey, I'm looking I came back and he took money. Like, it wasn't a robbery from what we understand. He was just attacked. So why was he attacked? Now, I'm not sitting here saying that him getting attacked, him getting attacked this way is justified. I'm not trying to justify anything. No, he shouldn't have been attacked, but I'm wondering why he was attacked in the way that he was. Was it for money? Did they steal his car? You see what I'm saying? What was the reason behind that? But he did say that he knew Rachel, this girl named Rachel. He knew her, but he didn't know her or him. He knew her, but he didn't know him. That says a lot. So it does make me wonder, what's up with that? What's up with that? Yeah, Sadie. Like that's pretty over the it's pretty over the top, man. Okay. But that's very interesting. Real quick, let me look at something here really quick because you guys said something in the chat. I don't know if it's entirely true, but I'm curious. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I. Yeah, I see nothing about somebody being in the ER. That's that's very, very interesting, but I don't see anything about that. And if it does come up, then we will look at that. But I don't see, I want proof as well. And I don't see anything like that. So I don't believe it personally, but I know people can come in here and try to throw shows off just for fun. But I have yet to see any proof of that. I'm looking at a couple, one more thing. And that's the one thing I'm wondering too, right? So that was his last, that was his last main squeeze. Was that his last girl that he was like, bumping uglies with, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is the story behind that? That's a question I'd really like to get answered, of course. Right? But yeah, okay. All right. I'll entertain it for 2 seconds because here it is. And I don't know if this is true. Let me just say this really quick. But I'm going to show you a flash real quick. But it says word on the street is Stephen McDougal has been sent to the ER due to falling off his bunk. I believe it when I hear it. I believe it when I actually see somebody saying something about it. Hence the reason why now I can see why people are like, oh, this is true. Here it is. I believe it when it's actually in an article. But that could be, I don't believe that. I honestly just don't believe that. Okay. But I know that there's, of course, we are all reeling over this story, reeling over this case. Our hearts are broken. We all want swift justice. And like I said, I believe it when I hear it from like local news or from any of the others, from periodicals that we read and look at every day. But I don't believe that. Okay. Also, I will say this too, in regards to what we just talked about with the Rachel woman. This is also a very small town, right? From my understanding, that area, it's a small town, okay, where everybody knows each other. Now, I don't know how long he's been in that town or, if he met everybody at that time. There's a good possibility he strolled in the town. Rachel is somebody that everyone knows, okay, because it's a small town. Maybe that's what it is. And then he just happened to be someone that knew somebody that may have been in there to hang out. God only knows, right? He was just passing through or he was trying to get away from something. I don't know. Trying to find a new place to live, a new area to live, etc. That's possible too. But I don't know. I don't know. But it does tell me that he knows that girl, and that could also just be because of it being a small town too, or there was something deeper in the past. Anything's possible with that situation. Anything is very, 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 very possible. Hold on, let me see something real quick. But yeah, it is crazy, and that's wild. He was attacked. This guy, He wanted to press charges. 5-0 didn't do anything. 2 days before this little girl goes missing, he's pulled over. And if there was charges, a warrant out for this guy's arrest at that time, this may not have ever happened. Something to think about. Something to think about. It's very, very sad. Grace, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. I think you are just refreshing, but I appreciate you joining back again. I do appreciate you refreshing your membership. I really do appreciate it. But I will say this too, to Garbage Water, to Horde 42, to Taters, to Don Stephen McDougal. Hey, buddy, don't drop the soap. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Seriously, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Without you guys, I'd just be talking to a wall. I got a bunch of other stories I want to talk to you guys about. We got some other things we're going to be talking about here. If there's more developments in regards to this case, we will be talking about it for sure. But there's some other crazy stories that we need to talk about. And I really, really want to rap with you guys about something that's been crazy. And I'm not going to say anything about it yet. We'll most likely talk about it first thing tomorrow morning, God willing. I know that we are still on verdict watch for the Adam Montgomery, Harmony Montgomery trial. I'm hoping that tomorrow they come back with a verdict like that, but we will see what happens, okay? Fingers crossed on that, but we will cover and talk about that when that happens, okay? But verdict watch is in full effect right now. We still have a bunch of other cases. There's the Karen Reed case that's going on, or that's about to happen, I think, very soon. There's also the Courtney Taylor, the OF model trial that's allegedly going to be happening very soon as well. Man, it's going to be crazy. Yes, S-dubs, that hasn't happened yet. The verdict has not happened yet. When it does, we're going to be watching it, the show. Okay, even if it's a replay, we will be watching it because I want to see that verdict like a mug. We'll see what happens here. They only had a few hours today, so hopefully by tomorrow they'll already be like, we already know. Let's just wrap this up. That'll yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. I hope. We'll see what happens. Okay, guys. But anyway. I think he has to physically be in there for the verdict. So hopefully he will be in there. If not, justice is still, like, the verdict will still be served, whether he's on camera or not. So I just hope it's the verdict that we are all hoping for. Justice needs to come for her. And it needs to come hopefully tomorrow. All right. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook. Hit that follow button on Facebook if you're watching over there. Hit that page. Hit that follow page, please. And thank you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel right here if you're watching over here. Also, subscribe to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. That would really mean a lot. Check out PascalMerch.com. It's in the description box. The link to that website is in the description box down below. Please and thank you. And I'll be talking to you guys very soon. Okay? Much love to you guys. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Without you guys, I'd be talking to a wall. I'm dead ass. So it's always a blessing to have you guys here. I'll be talking to you guys very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Have a good night, guys. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.